Yeah, I've got a real problem over the next couple of days. We've got strong winds. First of all from the southwest, and then from the northwest. It's sort of really blowing at two completely separate corners of the lake, and I just don't know whether I start off in the wind, hope the fish stay there, or go in the non-windy corner and wait for it to arrive. Just don't know. Really just don't know. So I thought I'd come round here, check this out. Only thing I could de-steam the car a little bit. Well, I am the only loony up here at the moment by the looks of things. I sort of said to myself, this one's free, I'm going to go in here. I think what we'll do is we'll go and have a look first, because I'm just concerned about that wind and what it's doing. It's casting as well, it's the trouble. Slightly more problematic than I think, but I don't know, we'll see. Right, let me park up and we'll see really where we really end up. Well, it looks familiar. It is familiar. The way the wind seems to be pushing and the way it seems to be going, I can try and get a bait where I was, had those two fish last week, and I'm going to still put one out there, put one in the middle still, because that's area's just getting baited and baited. Yeah, I think I've just got to go for it really. Got to go for it. There's a bit of sunshine maybe for a little while. I got until about 10 o'clock, so I've actually got 4 hours to get this cracked. It's a bit windy, so we shall see. Yeah, that way over there in that corner there, that's where it's really hacking into. But then when it blows from the northwest, it's just going to be flat calm over there. And that is actually the last 2 nights. So the wind's going to be pushing through this gap out into this water here. I think that's just where I've got to be. It's sort of case of, oh really? I'll be back in here again. But I think, yeah, I really have got to be back in here again. Well, the angle of the wind and everything's blowing. There's not a lot I can do. It's just, yeah, what I've got to do. So with that in mind, and the fact it's not raining, let's get rock and rolling. Oh, right then, I've managed it. The kit is up. Everything is up. I've literally just missed the last rays of sunshine. It is now gone. Cloud building up, and a few drizzles of spots of rain on the overlap already. I managed to get the rods out there, so I'm quite happy about that. Exactly where I wanted them to. Just got to do some quick fine tuning on the bobbins. But I thought I'd quickly do this because I thought it was going to actually start raining good and proper and carry on raining. So it's nice to get out, walk around. I'll be back out again late this evening, I think it will be. Next time I can get back out. I'm not sure if Ian's coming down. Forecast's a bit iffy on the gale force winds and things, and he's still not overly happy about situations like that after the incident the other year. Don't blame him, really. Takes a while to build your confidence up about fishing out in weather like this. But I'm going to hide under this tree, to be perfectly honest with you. At the moment there's a bit of drizzle in the air, and also probably hear me a little bit. There you go. Beautiful, hey? Absolutely beautiful. Dear. So, yeah, my thought process for why I'm fishing here. While the southwesterly's blowing, I can get my hook baits out to exactly where I want to get my hook baits out to, where I was catching fish last week. Steve over the other side lost something last week. Adrian had a couple of small ones, whereas I clearly had a big one, and no doubt probably lost a big one. So this area I think is the better area based on that information. When the wind switches around to the northwest, I've got to stand up, my legs are hurting. Whoa, yeah. When the wind switches around to the northwest, I'm hoping it actually blows the fish through that gap back out into this sort of open water area where I am. And what I'll do is I'll drop one short back onto the middle spots of the last couple of nights. I've got to get up early Saturday morning and go and collect my daughters from the mother-in-law's. So depending on what the weather forecast is for Saturday morning, because there's a little bit of a rain front coming through, yeah, still wavering on whether I do the 3 nights or not. It's all about I don't like rushing to pack up these days. The older you get, I don't really like it. It's just not good. It's a bit of a wipes me out. A bit knackered this morning, to be perfectly honest with you. Setting up in all this, rushing around. Then I got here about 6, and I think, like I said to you, it's now more or less 8. So 2 hours is sort of it's a long time to set up, really. Especially if I've had no breakfast or nothing, and I'm an old man now. Well, not quite really, am I, to be fair. But yeah, I think that weather front is on the way. I think it's 10 o'clock is the real sort of full-on rain, so I might get a little bit of broken rain between now and then. I'm hoping I want to get a little bit of bait out there, but I'm not going to put a lot. But I want a little bit of bait out there, but I want to hang it out until about 10 o'clock before I actually go and do it. So just have to wait for that one. We shall see. Right, it's drizzling again now, so I'm going to catch up with you inside the bivvy. Oh dear, yeah, it's a little bit drizzly out there now. I think there's possibly some sunshine again later on today. I know there's supposed to be some this evening. It just depends how quick this rain and wind blows through. I've looked at the forecast, and tomorrow Friday doesn't look too bad. The rain's coming in 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, so we'll just have to see about that. We'll just see how the fishing goes, and whether I actually pushing and doing that 3rd night, or do I head home on to go and collect the youngest on Friday, who apparently is really enjoying herself, so might be grumpy with me. But if I pick her up in the afternoon, it might not be too bad, realistically. But we'll just see, really. See how it goes, see how things are there, if it pans out. But yeah, I've gone for same sort of tactics I ended up using last week. 15mm pop-ups on, or 15mm catalyst pop-ups on. Tracked out towards that gap. I haven't got any freebies out there yet. I don't want to do that too early. I'd like to do it about sort of 10:30, but I think it's going to be raining by 10:30, so I have to study the weather, and hopefully there might be a little bit of a break just so I can get sort of like 10 spawns out there. I don't want a lot, I just want a tiny little amount out there. I'll put some out in the middle as well, because depending on what the wind's doing in the night, I might switch to that middle rod. At some point I think I'll have to switch that one in, not middle rod, but middle of the lake. I think I'll have to switch to that anyway, so I might have a little bit of bait out there building up a spot. Yeah, the rain's sort of picking up a little bit now, so just see where we go from here realistically. Yeah, you might even hear the spots on the roof now a little bit earlier than anticipated, but I think there's the odd sort of random little bit of rain popping up here and there before the real sort of heavy stuff arrives for a few hours. I just hope that will sort of spur them on. I was surprised on the way here how little water there was on the fords and things. It seems to have sort of gone through and soaked into the ground a lot quicker than I thought it would. So obviously means the ground's still pretty dry and things like that. So we shall see. Lake levels still quite high. I think it's sort of part of what's causing us a few little problems and things about where we're going to catch fish and we're not going to catch fish. I'm going to check my thing because I have a bad habit of turning itself off. It goes flat, but sort of click that back on there. It does flash when it goes flat, but if you're not looking at it, you can't see it flashing. I think I have a spare one somewhere. I need to get both of them going, don't I, really? And if one goes flat, the other one carries on. Just have to see, really. One thing I do know I need, I think it's kind of 8 o'clock now. I need a brew. I got up at 4:30. I woke up at 4:30. I just thought, went for a wee. Thought, oh, it's 4:30. The alarm's going for 5. There's absolutely no point in this. I might as well just get up and stay up. So I'll do me bed, and I might have a doze in the rain. That could be the option, and then sort of get up this evening. We'll see. See what occurs. But yeah, I definitely think I need a little bit of coffee and things like that. Get me going, get me moving, get my brain thinking. It's struggling a little bit at the moment. Quite tired. Obviously, we're always quite tired at the moment. This just keeps trying to send me to the doctors. Maybe I need to go to the doctors. I don't know really. I just need to analyse how much sleep I'm actually getting, and then maybe I'm fishing too much. Maybe I'm fishing too hard at the moment and not sleeping, so I'm getting quite hard. After this trip, it's 3 weeks off, so I think I might catch up with my sleep. So I won't be so tired. You think, well, I'm tired now because I got up at 4:30. I went to bed at 10, which is quite enough sleep, but no. Last week we did 4 nights, so I sort of did the same thing more or less really. Got at 5 o'clock and did the same thing and did 4 nights fishing. And I've only had a Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night in bed really, and last night wasn't very long, so yeah, it could be that wearing me out realistically. So right, I'm going to have that get that brew kit sorted, because I haven't got the brew kit sorted at all or anything like that. Need to get the lights sorted. Oh, yeah, see what I mean? Oh dear, never. Good. Let's go. Crack on. Well, the rain has really arrived now, as opposed to a few little drizzles and bits and bobs earlier. Had a little bit of a shower earlier on, but now we're in the full swing of it now. I must admit, the wind's finally sort of picked up to whatever it is going to pick up to. There's about 30-mile-an-hour gusts today. On the coast it's a little bit more, it's like 40 miles an hour, so hopefully that sort of stays where it's put and doesn't come inland. Don't really fancy any of that, to be perfectly honest with you. Just sort of see how we go really. We did manage to get some bait out there, which is quite good. I was set back with a wind knot and had to sort that out, and then lost a bit of line. It was incredibly spawny. Oh, unbelievable. Literally, I reckoned one more wrap of lost line would have meant I couldn't have actually fished where I've been baiting up. Well, I could have fished there. I'd have just had to took around, find some line, re-spool it and things like that, which, to be perfectly honest with you, would have probably resulted in me getting wet and less bait out there. So yeah, it's not too bad. And I've been concentrating on the long range rod anyway, so after the point that actually happened, I was only really sort of concentrating on a little bit back from that gap I'm aiming at, because I'm assuming that at some point in time when the wind changes direction, I won't be fishing that far out, to be perfectly honest with you. It'd be a miracle if I was, but you never know. It's only, there's usually 20-mile-an-hour winds from the northwest, so I might get away with it, really. I think what's occurring at the moment is sort of slightly go a little bit more north. There is a possibility of well, you say it might go my way, it might not go my way. We'll just have to see, but there we go. It is what it is. It's, the rod bouncing around a little bit in the wind and everything. Always have my tips up high here, so it makes life easier playing fish and things. So yeah, anyone with eagle eyes and keenness will have noticed switched back to my Delcoms this week, to be honest with you. It's just the wind. I'm curious to see if I those fox buzzers are brilliant. However, they beep a little bit too much for my liking, I think. I don't know. It's got a sort of, I think it's the braid rod that goes off more than the mono rod, so we'll have to see what occurs here realistically. Seen quite a few fish out there scooching around this morning, so yeah, I'm happy, I'm confident, looking feeling good realistically. We just have to fingers crossed from where we go, really. Right. Oh, look at that. Blue sky. Blue sky. Well, I think the horrendous weather has passed. Look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. Not bad at all. And absolutely stunning through here. A little, I wouldn't want to walk for any of that. Probably get absolutely soaking wet. But it's certainly looking beautiful out here today now. Absolutely fantastic. Storm has passed and the place is looking gorgeous. Beads on my bivvy. It's still nicely waterproof. Look at that. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Yeah, no, it's ace. Perfect. Don't know whether the wind's actually changed to the northwest yet. Don't think it's supposed to have done. But yeah, no, it's good. Absolutely beautiful. Tower looking good in the sunlight. Absolutely looking fantastic. Steve and Adrian are over the other side again this Wednesday, which is nice. But yeah, look at that. There we go. Absolutely beautiful. You couldn't ask for a perfect evening, could you? I can't start cooking my food actually inside the bivvy. Probably should actually be doing it outside the bivvy, to be perfectly honest with you. So I'm going to sit out and enjoy this weather. But I've set it all up now, so it's sort of a bit late, which is a shame. But nice to sort of set up and, storm has passed, hey? Alright. Ian's not going to be joining me, I don't think, this weekend, unless he completely changed his mind about phone call I had earlier. He's a bit worried about the weather warning after his last year's October disaster, but maybe he might change his mind, to be perfectly honest with you. If he checks the latest weather forecast, he might find storm in a teacup as always. I've noticed that with the weather forecasting people. It's all doom and gloom and mega disaster and global warming, when it's just your average day storm, really. But no, it's absolutely beautiful through there. It's nice to see my beauty still waterproof. I shouldn't say time I used it, to be fair. The wrap, that is. Yeah, so who knows? Who knows? Absolutely gorgeous. Fantastic out here. Let's see if we can catch a carp later on tonight. Be good. Right, I'm going to go and put the food on. And yeah, enjoy the evening, really. Beautiful. Well, the wind direction has now swung round to the northwest as anticipated. A little bit of cloud around at the moment in the distance, which is sort of affecting the sunlight. There was a little bit of sunlight out here a minute ago, so I thought, well, it's a good idea, come and do a little bit of filming when the sunlight's out, but seems to have come down a little bit of cloud over there. It's one of them things, isn't it, really? Yeah, all looking good, really, don't you think? All looking good, looking nice. I think this is it now from the next couple of days. You know, gentle northwesterly breeze coming across the lake, looking really good. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful skies. I'm feeling reasonably confident that if I do catch something out there, I actually get the bait back out over to where I want it to be, which would be good, really. That's a bit sort of bit useful and handy. I was a little bit worried about that. Should be okay. I think there was a little bit of rain forecast tomorrow, but to be honest with you, I haven't checked that, so don't know realistically. But yeah, it's all looking good, all looking nice. Don't know if there's anyone else down the bottom lake. I do know Stevie and Adrian are sort of opposite me in the areas they're normally going. Yeah, which is quite lucky for Adrian, because that was the swim I was torn with the idea of going in, but he's gone in there at the moment anyway, so I'm sort of glad I'm here, really. Feel a bit guilty otherwise. He sort of fishes that swim randomly, so he obviously had a little bit of an idea about going in there as much as me, so interesting to see how he gets on with his one night in there, realistically. Yeah, very nice. Very flat, calm and quiet now, isn't it? Realistically. Not as... yeah, it's all peaceful and quiet and quieting down now. Ah, wonderful, isn't it? Really nice. Really do like being out here. You hear the road in the background, unfortunately, it's just the way the wind's blowing. Realistically, it's pretty peaceful and quiet. The odd wood pigeon around. That view, that picture there, I think it's just, you can paint that. It looks absolutely beautiful. I could just build a house there and look at that every day. I get a bit blowy when it comes from the wind from the southwest, but anyway. Fantastic, eh? Absolutely fantastic. What more could we wish for? Right, I'm gonna tuck myself away, hunker down a little bit for the evening. I think it's about 7:30, 7:45, maybe a bit later. Don't know. Get a bit of sunset, I might come back out again. Just have to see. I haven't used my Delcams for so long. I can't remember whether the little night lights are on. I've noticed that one of them is slightly leaning to the left. But anyway, I'll fix that one tomorrow. I'm not gonna muck around with that one today. Yeah, quite happy with me. New unhooking mat, that seems to be worked well last week, so that's quite good. Yeah, haven't heard much or seen much for now. Spent a lot of the time while it was raining scanning the water for signs of carp, and boy, there was a lot of signs of carp. Really was. This is a sort of quieting down now. I think there must have been I might have to have a completely different approach to this place next year. I'm not going to do it this year now because I've got 3 weeks off. I might sneak in the odd little couple of nights, but realistically, I must need a different approach next year. Don't know. I've got to think about this. As I say, it's a different approach, different area. Don't know. Something's got to slightly change. I don't know if it's feasibly possible to get a bait to where I see the fish, which could be why they're there. You know. Oh, I just had a carp way down there. There's a flat spot I can see, so they're around and about, aren't they? This is good. Very good indeed. Oh yeah. Happy with that. Really happy with that. Rightio. Well, morning from inside the bivvy. I'll go for a little bit of wander in a minute outside, show you around. It's yeah, a very, very pleasant day, to be perfectly honest with you. Light northwesterly breeze. Got that out in the mouth, with brain. Little bit of rain and drizzle, I think, at one point in the early hours this morning. And in general, about it really. A little bit of a temperature drop. Not a bleep. Not a liner, not a knot, not a nothing. Not a thing, unfortunately. God, I needed that. Yeah. Bit of a shocker, really. I expect way more than that from last night, with all those conditions and everything. I've got no idea how Steve and Adrian got on over the other side. I shall find out this morning. They'll come around for a chat, and we'll just have to take it from there and see, realistically. But yeah, I don't know whether to. I'll put a bit of thought into what to do. I keep looking at the weather forecast, and Saturday's weather so bad it looks like I'll probably be going out tomorrow. So I shall. It's sort of sitting around all day. I won't be doing that. That just seems to be a complete and utter waste of time at the moment. We don't seem to be able to catch anything during the day. I think you would if you could fish the right areas, most definitely. Really convinced about that. 100%. But those areas, I think, are just, the fish know where they can go and where they can avoid you, where they can hide, anything like that. Keep away from you, realistically. I've seen something on the far margins, a sort of white thing moving around, so I'm actually going to go and have a look with the binoculars, and then take you for a bit of a wander outside after that, and then tell you what I've seen. Probably just seagull or a heron wandering around, but it's way up the bank, so I'm going to look at that. Interesting. Well, the heron turned out to be a Canadian geese, a century goose that sort of stands up and keeps an eye out for any predators, hence why the long white neck or everything like that. There appears to be a day angler over the far side. Over there somewhere in the trees. Yeah, so what is interesting that I've just seen, I will flip the screen around at some point. There's a green algae on the top here. Interesting. Don't normally get that on here. I wonder if this is our lack of fish issue. Surprised to find that, to be perfectly honest with you, on here, considering the conditions over the last few days. Wind and rain, you'd thought it would have broken it all up, I think. Clearly hasn't bothered. So, interesting. Interesting indeed. Yeah, it's all sort of pretty much flat calm wherever you sort of go, really. Over the other lake, I'll spin round and you'll see behind me, but you can see the lake that I'm on's all flat calm. That lake over there is pretty flat calm, and yeah, not a lot going on realistically. Very Mm. Very peaceful and quiet. I can see Steve's Adrian's landing there. It looks pretty much in the same place and dry. Don't know. I was expecting to put it up in the tree if he was drying it. Don't know. Hopefully it's been a little bit more productive for them, but yeah, not sure about the algae bloom. Don't need that realistically. I'm going to wander up here and check in the other swim actually, to see if it's in this one as well. Along this margin, it's where the wind's obviously been blowing over the last couple of days. Yeah, it is. Well, a couple of hours since last night. That's when it's been blowing. Yeah, it's in these margins here. Interesting. Very interesting. So, I want to have a little bit of a mooch in the other lake. Maybe I'm glad this could be me last trip for a while. I like the bouncing. I'm using the sort of like my thingy. What am I using? I don't know. Selfie stick thing. I should use my what's it pole a little bit more, shouldn't I? My gimbal a bit more. I'm being a bit lazy. I'm going to have to take my phone apart on that one. So there's no signs. Blue-green. Well, it's not blue-green algae. It's just green algae in here whatsoever. Coloured up nicely. After all that southwesterly wind, you'd expect it to. I would say I haven't heard much crashing, but I was just so tired recently. I slept like an absolute log, to be perfectly honest with you, so I don't think it would have made any difference at all. There you can see the murky colour of the lake. I'll take you off here and take you for a little bit of a tour around as well. Yeah, very, very, very strange and interesting. Yeah, okay. I'll put some thought into this today. Do I, do we just blast those rods back out there again and top it out with bait and hope we have a sort of miracle night like we did before, or not? Okay, rightio. So, have to see them, won't we, boys and girls? Not sure how well you'll be able to see that, but there's the green algae. You get it a bit before. I've had it a bit before. You just got to be careful and wash your hands and everything. It's when you get that little sort of like bluey tint, I think, is when you get the blue-green stuff. But you've still got to be very conscious. Don't know why that's appeared on here this year. We've got weed in here. Water quality should have actually got better. Yeah, strange one, really. Very strange one. We shall see. So yeah, we've got to put a bit of thought into whether we stick one up the middle-ish area. Get a lot of boilies over the top. Close range rod type thing. Or stick that sort of range gap there. Don't know. I've got most of the fish with a sort of single rod out there rather than two rods, so don't know. Could be the lines. I'm a bit paranoid about lines and things. Yeah. So we'll have to see really. But yeah, if you come over this one, there's no signs of algae bloom at all whatsoever. There's even the tufties and the tufty chicks are actually over here. I don't know if you can see them over there. Not going to zoom in or anything, but they're quite happy. I don't want to go and sort of disturb them, but they seem to be in there a lot more this week. Last week they're out in front of us and out in the main lake and everything, but this week they're not. So I don't know really. Don't know. Just have to see. Yeah. Oh well. Oh yeah. So I've looked at the weather, as I said before, and it looks ferocious on Saturday. So see me going home tomorrow. Can't see Ian turning up today, to be honest with you. He doesn't want to sit through a whole day of rain whatsoever, I don't think. on Saturday by himself, so it'll be crazy. Oh, Steve's got his net up drying in the wind, so let's hope it's drying in the wind because he's had a fish, as opposed to drying in the wind because he's just drying it out because of the rain. He's slowly but surely packing up. Don't blame him really. I think there's two guys over the last side over there. I know there's a van. But yeah. Oh well, right. I'm not going to stray very, very far and things. I'm going to go back and sit in my bivvy. It's got the wife at 16 degrees, but it feels quite pleasant to be in there. Yeah. And soak up the, yeah, soak it all up really. See how we get on. Right. At some point I've got to make my video, put all that together. But if I'm going home tomorrow, yeah, don't know really. Might do it today. It's crazy. I'll be home by sort of midday tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow and Saturday morning. But there we go. Right. Catch up later. I'll have thought about what I'm going to do. I'm going to do sort of reposition these rods and what I'm actually going to be up to tonight. I've got to try and catch a fish before I get out of here. So, got a while. Nothing really occurs during the day anymore. So, I'm thinking I'll spend sort of until midday-ish, 1 o'clock-ish, maybe a bit longer thinking about what to do. Then recast, rebait, and have it all done really. Rightio. Well, I've had a bit of a regroup, a bit of thought process over today, kept an eye on the wind, seeing what it's going to do. We might get the odd random shower now, so I'm sort of taking the opportunity to I've moved one of the rods. I've actually left the other rod out. I'm going to leave it out for 48 hours, just to sort of set it, just let it just settle into that area, and blend in a little bit, and the carp might come across it a few times and might just pick it up. I do this on and off occasionally, especially when it's hard going. It's worth certainly is worth trying something like that occasionally, just sort of see what happens realistically. You got to be, it's a bit in your car, it's alright if you're dropping baits over the side and you can check and everything, your rig's all okay and looking good, you can quite happily leave it there. But when you cast them out, it's always can be a bit of a gamble, but it's got to be worth a go, I believe, on that. I've done it on the left hand rod, which is by the entrance to the sanctuary. I've moved the right hand rod along out in front of the island now, in front of me. Maybe the fish are sort of coming through that gap and sort of not going sort of left the way they want them to go. Maybe they're going sort of more right, so I've sort of cast up against as close as I can get to that island where they go along there. I know they come around that right hand corner, so I've sort of walked down to the gravel, and the second of the gravel swims next door, and cast it straight out from there. I won't have any worries about anyone coming to set up in there, because people generally don't do that. Crikey, I've got itchy eyes, sorry. Oh, very brave. They did say it's going to be sort of like high hay fever levels and things. I do get a little bit of that occasionally. But I've done that. I put 4 spoms out there. Wasn't interested in putting a great deal. I haven't topped up the other rod because it's sort of 2:30, 3 o'clock-ish, and I didn't want to spook anything that might be out there. Occasionally you can get a fish sort of 4:30, 5 o'clock, something like that, which I'd like to sort of stand a chance of doing. And spomming this late in the day I don't feel is a good idea realistically. So we'll see. Let me just take you outside and show you what's around anyway. Well, as you can see, it is sort of quite bright and a little bit sunny out here. The wind's definitely now from the northwest, and that's the direction of the rain's going to come. There's a few little sort of looking little rainy clouds and things, so they might build up and come and get me. So I thought it was a sort of good idea to do that. It's generally sort of all around and about, so I just sort of bubble up and decide when it's going to rain on you, here, there and anywhere. So I could end up getting rained on Last thing I want to do is be baiting up, it just starts raining, so I'd rather do it now, get it over and done with. So as I said, it took about 4 casts to get that rod on the corner of that island out there, so it's not too bad. 4 spoms over there as well, so that wasn't too bad either. It's quite a long way away from the other one, so I don't think I was spooked to bait on anything on the other rod. So I'll sit back and relax and enjoy it, and if it rains, if not, well, it doesn't. But yeah, see what we can do realistically. We'll get might get tea in early tonight, I don't know, we'll just see really. We're looking quite good out there. Just have to see how things go. Andy's sort of friend of mine's turned up and gone down the end, going into the middle lake across there, so we'll see how he gets on tonight. He packs up and goes very early in the morning, so I'm not quite sure if I'll be awake when he does that tomorrow morning. Don't know, you never know. I think I more or less decided it's my last morning, so I generally get up early on my last morning, because I just like to sort of enjoy it for what it is, take it all on board, relax, and just, yeah, should be good. Right, let's enjoy this, and if we're really lucky, catch a carp maybe. Don't know, gotta give it a go, mate, gotta give it a go.